Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Thickest Thieves boys back in action with another podcast. I'm rapper Nate Rose.
I am filmmaker David Elijah Piersaul.
And we about to have a good episode,
Let's
dude. It's
go.
a new year, new me, new you.
I think it's New Year, same me.
Same you.
I ain't changing for nothing. I'm the same dude.
You just
I'm not growing
you're just
towards
doubling
nothing.
down on your pride so hard. You're like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with me, bro. I'm accept me as I am or leave.
Prideful Piersaul, that's what they call
Pride
me.
for Piersaul, that's right. Well, man, without further ado, let's mask up like
Now
we
we
finna
finna
rob
rob
some.
What? I want to talk about cash.
Aliki, what we got?
Okay, so it's our 30th episode, and it's our first episode in 2024. So we're going to see how well you guys remember previous episodes with some 2023 show trivia.
Oh, shoot.
I have 7 questions. You'll write down your answers. The person with the worst memory is going to have the least points by the end of the game, and they're going to be forced to remember something corny they've done, draw us the scene, and describe to us what happened.
Okay.
Something corny we've done.
That's a hard one because I mean, we're so far from the corny world that it's kind of,
Not for me. Bro, the first decade of my music career, I was just living
Just
in
straight
cornball
corny.
territory.
Hey, that's honest. That's honest.
Look, I was liberated by the grace of God. All right.
God liberates us from corniness. That's
Let's
crazy.
get it.
This is also going to be a test of who is more dedicated to this job. Okay, so whoever loses.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I do video full time, and it's actually how I survive. I think I'm more dedicated.
Well, we'll see.
That's
We'll
easy.
see. So
But
here's
David
your
doesn't
first
love
question.
SD. I'm an empath. So, okay, first question. Let's get it.
Okay. In episode 5 and episode 13, we played Guess What's in My Lap. List both items you had on your lap in each episode.
Oh, you're talking about that one episode. Got you. You said episode what?
Episode 5
Episode
and
5, okay,
episode 13.
Oh, those ones. That's all you had to say. Got you. Okay, I take.
I got 3. That's all I could think of off top. I'm ready.
I'm going forward because might as well get one wrong. All right,
Go ahead. What you got?
recycling bin. Remember that one?
Yep.
All right, the rock pillow.
Uh-huh.
Easy. A mug. Don't know. I feel like I had a mug at some point, and then I put rubber chicken. I don't
Rubber
remember.
chicken was one?
I don't remember.
I said lobster slippers, the rock pillow, and the recycling bin mug. So that was one and the same.
Wow. So the answer.
Oh, I thought we was only supposed to guess the ones that we had.
No, go ahead.
No, it was all 4 items.
Oh, I knew some of Nate's. Dang, bruh.
She said that.
That's all good. It's all good. I missed the rules.
Okay, so the answer was the lobster slippers,
Yep.
the Dwayne Johnson pillow, the garbage can mug, and
Yes.
the Axe pizza cutter.
Oh
what I
yeah,
had.
dude. Yeah, that's the one
Yes.
that
You got
that's
me
the
on that
most
one.
that's the most
Well, I think you guys both remembered 3.
we got 3 basically. Yeah.
So no points.
Oh,
You're
let's
even.
go.
Wait, no, but he didn't say 3 though during his part. Right?
Huh? I said 4.
No, but you didn't say 3 correct ones. Rubber chicken wasn't one of them. You only got the rock pillow and the recycling bin.
Yeah.
So
If
I
would've
got
that
3.
rule, I would have had
Okay,
it.
so you get a point.
Yeah.
Okay, good job, bro.
Turn me up. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry.
That's just
I
not
think
me
that's just
listening,
the-
honestly.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. In life, you got to realize 2
That's
things.
just the way the cookie crumbles.
There's cookies, and the cookies crumble.
And they crumble.
Okay. In episodes 2 and 19, we played the estimating game where I put several of one object into a glass and you had to guess how many of that object were in the glass. List any 3 objects we played with.
Okay, easy.
Sheesh.
Every game's easy for me, and then I take an L.
All right, dude. I mean,
How many did you get?
I put 4.
Okay, I put 3.
Okay, what you got?
I put pasta,
Mm-hmm.
M&Ms, and
Mhm.
googly eyes.
Oh, okay. I put M&Ms,
Okay.
rice,
The rice was one.
rice grains, thumbtacks.
Oh, I almost put that
I
one.
think we did thumbtacks, and then I put spaghetti noodles, like pasta.
Yeah, I think you got it, bro.
The correct answers were sticky notes, chocolate chips, spaghetti, laundry items, items on the shelves, gummy worms, thumbtacks, rice, elbow pasta, and Q-tips. So M&M's, even though you both said it was not a part of that game.
Dang, it's because we did that thing with Chance.
Okay.
M&M's.
Okay.
You got
all
it
right.
though. You still got
But
it.
yeah,
Did I
Nate,
win?
you got-
Yes,
you
you
got
got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Dang, I literally thought thumbtacks and gummy worms, and I was like, that's just my head.
I'm just like
I
extremely.
was like, this isn't real.
I'm just extremely excited to just be exerting dominance over David.
That's
right
what
now.
it is, and also I'm extremely excited to come to the ultimate idea that you live here and see these items on a day-to-day basis, and I don't. So I
Facts. All right,
just can't. I'm just sore loser.
my man just can't take a graceful L.
All right, let's
All
do
right,
it.
all right. What it is?
Okay, in episode 29, Chance Willie told us about how he became interested in stand-up comedy. Where was he when he realized he had this interest?
I know my homies. All right.
For real. I already got it. Dunzo. What you got? Go ahead and say it out loud.
His dad's funeral.
Same thing.
Dad's funeral.
Come on now. We know when it comes to friendships, we know
R.I.P. Papa Willie. Chance.
R.I.P. Bro.
Your story's beautiful, brother.
Okay, both of
If
you
you want to
can
know
get the
about that,
point.
go check out the episode. All right, what's that? We each get a point. Turn me up,
I mean,
man.
I need you to not get a point at least once.
Yeah, it's 3-1, Nate
Yeah.
to David.
How many more rounds do we got?
We have 7 questions, so we have 4 more.
Okay, let's go.
get it,
Let's get it.
Okay, in episode 25, Morgan and Taylor from the Creeps and Crimes podcast told us about their apartment hauntings. What did they say the ghost did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know the homies.
Ooh, I think I forgot about this one. What'd they say the ghost did?
Creeps and crimes. Just know. I be listening. I be paying attention. David, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? He just, I don't know. He's just in his own world sometimes. He just be thinking about butterflies, bro. He be thinking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, I got it. What'd you say?
Took her earring.
Oh, you're right. I put her sweater moved. I knew it was an object of her owning.
Okay, the correct answer was actually ripped out her nose ring. Now,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to give it to you.
That's no. He didn't get it right. No, he didn't get it right. He don't get it.
It was a nose ring.
It was a nose ring.
But
And also,
wait.
he said- but no, he said
But let me
moved.
throw it in there. It was in the dishwasher, wasn't it?
It wasn't the dishwasher.
It
wasn't
was in the
dishwasher.
dishwasher. I knew it.
But we talked extensively about how it was her nose ring.
We did. It's okay.
So no points.
So, okay, we'll take the point away. So it's still 3-1.
Right.
Going into the 5th question.
Okay.
In episode 11, you guys had to draw a topic out of a cup. You draw a music genre out of another cup, and you would freestyle a song that was in that genre about that topic.
Okay.
What was the topic of your country song?
Okay.
Hey, bro. I feel like I'm just like. First of all, I don't get a review link.
You hate our company.
I don't get a review link to the edits. I feel like this is just in their way all
David,
the way.
this is why we have a 95.5 in my favor. We talked about this before, but this is exactly why.
That's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
I've been taking advantage of my whole life, bro.
Yeah, bro. Well, level up.
That song. Topic, country music. Okay.
I got it.
Okay, got it.
What you put?
Being a sock.
I put the ballad of being a sock in a dryer.
Okay. It was being a sock in a dryer. I'm just going to give it to both of you.
All right.
So it's 4-2.
Let's say, yeah, we got it. Being
It's
a sock.
4-2. Being a sock, I'll say is acceptable.
Yeah, being a sock. The embodiment of, dude, you killed that.
Okay, here we go.
I'm stuck
Killed it.
in a dryer.
I forgot how it
2
went.
questions left.
All
The
right.
score is 4-2. David, at best you could tie right now. So
Okay.
All right, gang, gang.
here we go. In episode 9, we played Up for Debate at Bonnaroo. Who can name the most topics we used?
You remember when we used to wear the before we started holding the microphones, when we were wearing the lavs, and every time I'd take a sip of coffee, you'd be like,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, anytime you guys really...
it was just ASMR, dude. You heard the gulps, like, because also it was like right by my throat. So
All
it'd
right,
be
I got
just-
it. We can-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Me first.
Yep.
I got toilet paper and bidet, couch and recliner, centaur and minotaur, pirate and ninja.
Good ones. I got bidet and toilet paper, waffle versus pancake, candy and popcorn, recliner and couch. But
The
I
correct-
think I think he got it still. I think
The
you're
correct answers were waffles versus pancakes,
Yeah, I forgot about
centaur
that one.
versus minotaur, couch versus recliner, and pirate versus ninja.
right. Hey, I know we did bidet versus toilet
No,
paper.
we did toilet paper and bidet too. Now I think that seals the win in for me. However,
It does.
we have one more question. David, just for the pride purposes, you got to beat me on this one. All right. So let's level up.
Yeah, I got you, bro. My pride's not based off this though.
In episode 10,
I'm just being prideful still. All right, let's go.
In episode 10, we answered trivia questions related to the biggest director of all time, the biggest movie of all time, the biggest song of all time, and the biggest artist. So, can you remember who was the biggest director? What was the biggest movie? Who was the biggest artist on Spotify? And what was the biggest song on Spotify?
Dang. All right, cool.
I got my answers. I'm sealed.
I don't know the song, so I'm just gonna take a guess and say.
I mean, I don't think I know any of these, but we gonna try it.
Cool.
We locked in. Okay, let's do director first. Who'd you say?
James Cameron.
Says Steven Spielberg.
It was Spielberg.
I actually thought about putting James Cameron. I had it down and I was like, he's the GOAT. Okay. Movie.
Titanic.
I said Infinity War.
It was Avatar.
I was
I
like,
thought it was still Titanic for some reason.
I thought about putting Avatar too,
Yeah, me
but
too.
Okay.
Okay. Artist on Spotify.
I put Taylor Swift.
I put Taylor Swift.
It was Drake.
Dang, dude.
Shout out our boy Drake,
He's always killing it, bro.
our friend,
Yeah.
Sir
That's the
Aubrey
homie.
Graham.
You talking about A?
You talking about the boy?
Yeah. Come on now.
Okay. Biggest song on Spotify.
Blinding Lights.
Ooh, good one. I just put Gangnam Style. I could not think of one.
It was Blinding Lights.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good
baby.
job. Dang,
Okay.
Nate slaughtered me in this game.
Hey, it's all good.
Okay, so Nate, you won. That means you have the best memory of
got-
our
I got the-
2023 shows, and that means that David's now going to be forced to share a corny memory with us.
No, here's what I want
I got to draw it.
What you got to do is you got to draw something, either a corny memory or a time you felt corny or a time you did something corny, something like that. I can't wait to see this because I mean, there's an endless
The time Okay.
well to pull from.
I got you. I know exactly what I'm going to do, actually. I know exactly the corny moment I'm thinking about because it's in my head every time I take a shower. You talking about that moment?
Yeah.
That's what you want to see?
That's the one
you
I
want
wanna
to
see.
that illustrated?
Yeah.
You're going to look into the face of... We're about to
You
enter
go.
cosmic
You've
horror grounds
never
right now.
seen a level of insecurity on this scale.
You going to watch my strokes. Pause.
Yeah. No. Like.
Hold on, bro. I'm watching my strokes. You know, when I was corny, the entire year...
Wait. Let me see it first. Let me see it first, and let me see if I can guess it.
No, hold on. No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's see. You know, when I was corny, it wasn't a moment. It wasn't a moment at all, actually. It's actually a time of my existence.
An era. Yeah.
It was an era from 18 to 25 when I decided to get framed glasses of this size, square. My hair was cut short. I didn't have the curly, luscious hair that you know on this podcast.
My
And I
man.
looked, this image is, I mean, it's damn near a Polaroid of me at that time.
I saw it immediately, and I knew it. This was you right here. You were like,
I remember the first time I met Ollie Joseph, I go, "What's up, bro?" I go, he goes, "Hey," I go, "Hello, Ollie, nice to meet you." Oof. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Excuse me. I like your dreads. It was like, bro, it was a bad time in my life. I was corny. I felt like I was a square. I had a shirt from Lee University that I wore almost every day. I just liked wearing it around
so
the
you
house.
were musty also.
I wasn't musty. Let's not take it that far. Man. I was raised right, but no, it was just that this collared, like, it was one of those shirts that like a basketball coach, a high school basketball coach wears.
Yeah.
I just wore that, and I decided to make YouTube videos about it, or about filmmaking, and I wore that shirt. And,
Yeah.
bro,
And
I
now
just
look
had
at
no
you.
sweat.
You look like the flyest lumberjack in the land. I feel like you step foot in Alaska, you're a hero. Look at you, hiking boots.
I'll take it.
You got the
I'll take it.
yeah. Oh, that
Anyways,
pop. That pop go crazy.
yeah, I was corny, man. It was actually, like you said earlier, by the grace of God, that I was pulled out of it
Yeah.
and realized that
You emerged
I
into-
could just be myself.
He can just
and no one actually
bring out
cares
the
that much
sauce
about
that
you.
was gifted to him through
You know what it is,
a
dude?
transcendent source.
You know this, dude. I know we're gonna get into some transcendence, quote unquote, in some news we got to touch today. But you know what it is? It actually is
What it is.
I think I got to a point where I realized I was like, bro, no one cares about me as much as I think they do.
Yeah.
And that was such a big eye opener for me.
Me for sure.
No one.
Me for sure.
No, I just think you just walk around and you're like, dude, I'm gonna go and be upset that I didn't do this, or I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm gonna feel corny in this moment, and the people that I think are pursuing me this way are just gonna go home and have fun. They're all gonna do their thing, and I'm over here thinking about it.
That's true, and you're probably ruminating. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
so
you're
I'm like-
ruminating on an idea of something
Yes.
that you don't even. It's like nobody else is even picking up on at all. You're
Right.
just hyper aware to it.
Bro, I would be like,
I mean,
I'm not gonna wear these baggy pants because it makes me stand out. Someone's gonna, he's trying too
Yeah.
hard, and it's like those. Even if they are thinking that, it's like I'm not privy to that information unless they tell me.
Yep.
And it's like,
And also, if you wanted to wear them and you can just stand on that, then
Yes.
you're like, yeah, but I like them. So
bro, one of the biggest things.
that's just
exactly.
that's just confidence.
One of the biggest things that resonated with me, this isn't a super philosophical idea or anything, but it's how I talk to myself, which was like, when I get to the end of my life and I have nothing but myself inwardly to look at, I have to be content, because the only other option is being incontent, and that seems like hell.
Yeah.
Right? That seems like
Like
I'm
getting
living
to the end of
life-
your life and being like, I didn't live my life
Non-content
as if,
right.
like, yeah. so it's
That
full
seems
of
like hell.
potential.
That it's more so hell, just like to always live in a state of continuous like ridicule from yourself. It's like living in that state is like, I knew that I was thinking, I knew if I keep down this path, that's just going to be my life. It is. And I was like, oh, well, also I can choose to be in that state. And so I was able to, at some point I was just like, you know what? Like, would I be much happier thinking that I lived the life that was more preferable to the people around me, or would I live the life that in the end I'm happy? And I just chose the other way. You know what I mean? And I think we're doing that all the time. And I definitely I'm not like fully free. Like I don't feel like I'm, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm just
No, I get it. I mean, we had a little bit of this conversation last night to some extent, but yeah, I mean, I definitely have themes of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you just kind of figure it out. You kind of grow into confidence of, and especially when, where a lot of confidence comes from is purpose. Because if you have purpose,
Right.
that transcends all the other meaningless opinions. It's like, if somebody has an opinion about how my voice sounds on a particular part of a song, I'm like, yeah, I did that on purpose because I am doing this, and me making music is like my art. So therefore, like, yeah, okay, you don't like that, or you don't like the song at all, or whatever the case is. Like, that's cool. Then it's not for you. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like this is what I do. Like, this is what I like, and
Right.
so and I'll find that audience out there, but.
You know what, bro? And I think, unfortunately, I think of a lot of our demographics, and usually there's a event horizon that happens in people's life. There's like some sort of like, I think, boat that carries them through this process. For me, it was a relationship, right? It was a relationship, and then when that relationship was done, I realized at the time in that relationship, thinking about how I was affecting that relationship, and thinking that it was manipulating my world, in a way that was making me be like that former person I didn't like, thinking about that, and then it just goes away. And then I go, oh, like, I should have never put so much faith and so much into that when that was never my identity. Because now I'm left without it. I have nothing but to look at.
Yeah.
And I think you get that, some people get it in, a lot of people get it in relationships because we desire to be loved, right? A lot of that happens with people when they, they're first dating someone they fall in love with or something like that. Not saying that you don't put a lot of strength and a lot of dedication into your relationships. I think that should be the strongest relationship you have outside of God. I think that's what it should be, but it should never be at the sake of losing your own independency. And I think that's what I did.
You know what? I have an interesting anecdote to that end, but from the other side, where a place I was in a more unhealthy place and insecure. And I wasn't allowing my partner at the time to, like, I was trying to map my vision of what she needed to be onto her, you know what I'm saying, in a way that was inauthentic, which that happened to you. You were unable to be your
That's the best way to put it.
your true self. So I'm saying it works from both ways. And what it really is, though, is it's two damaged people trying to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? And like when I look back, I'm like, oh, I was at fault in that prior relationship.
Right.
And it wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? But I take on the full burden of the responsibility of that. And I do think that I was a significant portion of it because I was in a bad state. And so that's almost like the flip side. Like I can speak to it from the flip side. You know what I'm saying? And we each know these people that we're talking about ambiguously. I'm not going to put names on blast or anything like that. But
Yeah, man, it's beautiful, and I'm glad that you were able
I
to.
hope she's doing great though.
Yeah, same
know?
here. And like, people are so complex. That's the thing. Is like, I think sometimes we like to look at things retroactively and go, I'm glad I got out of this toxic. You hear that all the time. I got out of this toxic relationship, which in by nature, that statement is toxic in itself. To assume that the person on the
100% of the toxicity was
that they're so simple that they were just toxic and you weren't.
Dude.
No, that was such a complex person.
They weren't dealing with anything.
Yeah,
they were
at all.
just being tyrannical with fully having their stuff figured out.
Yeah,
and
man.
you did nothing.
Yeah, dude,
You had no
that's-
involvement in that.
I hate, it's a very selfish way of thinking, and if you could take that thought into every relationship, there's been times where you've said something and I didn't like it, and then I have to go, but who do I know to be Nate? And then put it up against that, and I'm able to, I think, at least get close to, until we get to the point of communication, get close to understanding the true intentions of said phrase. And if I get to that point and then I still don't feel comfortable about it, then I just talk to you, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, if you can put every person in your life, and you take any piece of conflict and you go, what do I know about this person? And if it comes to the point in which you go, oh, this person loves me, or they have a positive attribute that they apply to me, friend, mother, whatever, you have that positive attribute and you can apply it to that conflict, and you go, maybe they didn't mean it that way. If you go into
That's
it,
just grace, bro. That's grace.
Now you're open now.
You're giving
It's grace,
people. You're
right,
giving
exactly.
people the benefit of the doubt. You're understanding how complex you are as a person, and the fact that things that you say sometimes are misinterpreted or could have been said out of like irrational attitude or like whatever the case is, and you're applying that same level of grace to another person. And and I think that if you are practicing that, I mean, that's obviously sowed through in a deeply religious way, but like brought to the extremes,
Right.
it's like you can forgive someone for almost anything, and you know what I mean, and give them which is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
I love that you said two things: grace and forgiveness. Because I mean, essentially, you take God, right, who created people in His image, right, and He is the embodiment of all loving, right. So if you can, then God doesn't see us with any bias at all, right. God only sees us as an individual, right. He only sees this person who's going through something. And He knows that this person is also made in the image of Himself. And He knows that Himself is also an all-loving individual. So if He can then, that's why He has the ultimate grace. That's why He has the ultimate forgiveness. And it's like you said, everything, it's so weird how we can, as humans, manipulate these, not manipulate, but maneuver through these conversations in a way that gets to a point that maps onto Christianity.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you are a Christian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself a Christian yet.
Right.
You know, and I feel like I feel like I have subscribed to a lot of some of the truths. Like basically, I have gone all the way out. I went way deep into philosophy, and as I feel like
Satanism and like
you know
so
what I'm saying. Like I
sacrificing.
did human sacrifices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
And that's why I think Greg has a lot of trauma, because y'all are brothers, and then you.
Well, he's 8 years younger than me, and when I think I was 12, so that would have made him what, 5. That was the first time I slit a goat's throat.
Dang.
And he had to watch that bleed out of 5. I didn't really think about the fact that.
I want you to continue what you said. You were saying a good thought, and we went a different way, but I want to hear what you were saying. I took it off.
No. What I was saying is that I haven't fully subscribed to Christianity. I still have a lot of searching to do myself as far as, I haven't dived into apologetics. I need to look at other world religions in depth as well. But a lot of the things that I have found philosophically start to be true as far as building my worldview. They seem to map on a lot of these religious themes, and it starts to really validate not only the importance but the truth thereof of these religious themes. And I used to think about it totally differently. Like I used to think about religion I was never super cynical towards religion. I've never been that person. I know a lot of people are in that space where, maybe they've been hurt by members of a church who didn't live up to the words, or maybe because look, it's also uncomfortable to have to face yourself. The introspection, that process of ego dissolution is uncomfortable by nature. So you can imagine, even if you didn't have people, like let's say you didn't have examples of people in the church who hurt you really bad. Okay, well you might be, if you went to church and you were really holding on to your own ego and cynical. And a lot of people are when they're young. Like when you're young, it's straight ego because like we haven't figured out how to, that's part of becoming mature. And so I think that what happens is these people might even be in an environment where they're around people who are loving and whatever, but it casts such a shadow onto themselves that it's so uncomfortable to be in that space that they don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're almost like looking at this thing and but I do feel like, there are a lot of themes that even address that with Christianity. It's like the whole unworthiness thing you're not detestable, but you're sinful by nature. Right.
Yeah, falling humbly before the God because he's the only one who can take it from you. Yeah, it is a lot of I really commend your thoroughness when it comes to searching for said answers, right? I mean, I feel like you start at humanity, which would be the base level, and understanding how humans have been able to make sense of the world, which is, I guess, by design or by nature philosophy, right? Is, how certain people, the best big top thinkers, you're talking about Aristotle, Seneca, all these people, all the way down to our modern, JP and all those guys, and you're able to take all that. That's what the humans have applied and how they've been able to, in theory, evolve mentally to interact in the most positive way with everyone else. And then you're like, okay, cool. Let me dive into that and understand it. And then it's like, okay, how do I guess is how we get into the conversation of something like entropy. It's like, how do I get past that? And then I get past that. And then you get to the point where you start to think about your one of my favorite concepts here, which is hedonism and the time paradox, and just always you're reaching for eternity now. Yeah. You're able to build these relationships up, continually build them up until you die. Yeah. But then you want to work, you're even working past that. And that's where obviously religion comes into play when you start talking about building for eternity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's a lot to that. I feel like if we dive too deep into that, we will get into, this will become just like a straight philosophical podcast. So
love it. I mean, you know what, dude?
But we have
going with the flow sometimes.
Listen, I agree, but we got to talk about some chaotic things going on, bro. So because in the presence of this good that we're talking about in this process of ego dissolution and fixing yourself, you also have the world is doing some other shit, bro. Yeah. Like the world is in disarray. How about Epstein's list being leaked? How about that? Or not leaked, being released.
Straight up.
Just being released.
Straight up.
And some of the names on there, bro. Robert Downey Jr.
Bro. DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Prince Andrew. Bill Clinton.
Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump. But the craziest one, and the internet's been talking about this a little bit, if you didn't know, young Stephen Hawking.
Man, that's sad.
It is.
How many, does it tell them? I think some of them had like more times than, there's a number
that's
beside
true.
How many, which is crazy because I think someone like Bill Clinton went 73 times is what I've seen.
Yeah. I was going to say like there's, if you've been like once or twice, you more than likely are not just, you're probably not doing that much bad stuff, I would think.
Or is it too hard to believe that maybe that you're just going for it? Because Epstein.
Yeah. I'm sure they were having actually. I'm sure they were actually having some of those people were actually just having, interactions. Mm-hmm. But you go 73 times, bro. You are going for something.
Look, we don't want to get too far into what Epstein and the island, what they were into. Like, what does this mean to you? What is this like? What do these logs reveal to you?
Well, what I think this means. All right, so if we can take it from this sort of this directionality of ego dissolution and shifting your time scale further and further out, right? So let's just step back just to make sure that people are kind of clear on what we're talking about.
Okay.
So if you are the most egotistical time frame is the immediate moment. If you are serving your immediate self, I want to
eat a cookie.
I want to eat a cookie, so I'm going to eat a cookie now. I just want to eat it because it tastes good. But beyond that, it's like in the extreme, it's like I am so full of rage right now. I just want to indulge murdering somebody,
right? Because
that will serve the immediate me. I'm not thinking about any of the future ramifications of that. So anyway, the further you shift that out, the more that's almost an illustrator, or it has correlates with being more mature and more selfless. So you could think about somebody who has kids, that is a big part of ego dissolution, because when you have kids, for a lot of people, like it really changes them. And what it is like it really isn't about you anymore. Now you got to keep someone else alive. Now you got to teach someone else how to be and grow.
You have to. I mean, it's your duty to be selfless to a certain extent.
Right. And then you're thinking beyond your own life. You're thinking to your kids' lives. How can I set my kids up? But the fullest extent of that is what you alluded to earlier, is living with the idea of your eternal self. If you take it to its absolute limit, how do you live in accordance with eternity as your time horizon? And then, of course, different religions have different ideas on how to providing a rubric on how to do that. So I think that's what's happening. So with people that are leaned into the opposite of conventional wisdom found in these philosophical ideas and religious ideas, I think what you have is more and more a service of the immediate gratification. And when you become, and as you get more powerful, you have more access. So, and we've seen this, like, this is well studied as far as pornography goes. It's like pornography is causing, erectile dysfunction in people that are far too young otherwise
like
to have it.
Ejaculation.
Yeah, there's a lot
I'm
of...
not trying to be funny. I'm just saying.
But
I'm not trying to be funny.
It's just a concept. They're like...
Look, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, like, it actually it takes away intimacy. In
That's true. That's true. And then also you have to get into... So you might start out with something like more, dipping your foot in, but like it takes a little bit more. It's like you have a... What's the word I'm looking for? A tolerance.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No, tolerance, bro.
Funny.
So you have you have to do something. You have to see something more and more extreme as you go along. And so, anyway, I think that is what is happening at the highest levels of power. It's like, okay, cool. Like buying a Ferrari can no longer give me immediate gratification and whatever. Like, I have a huge house. I have my foot on the neck of certain people because I know I have something on them and they have to do what I have to say. But it goes all the way to the level of like, can I indulge sexual activity with children and get away with it?
That's evil.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, I mean,
and that's not thinking about anybody.
Let me ask you this then. What's beyond that?
Beyond that?
I mean, I can tell you my theory on that, right? And
Go ahead. Yeah,
about this,
please.
Some people even believe in like, you have, this is so fringe conspiracy, but you have like Illuminati and the sacrificing of kids and stuff like that that's been rumored. So is that the next, do you think that stuff is real, bro?
Well, the Illuminati stuff, I mean,
do you think that people
let me say this, what is the, I don't dive super deep into the Illuminati stuff, right? Because I'm not
until they ask you,
not on that tip. But here's the thing, what's the difference?
They're going to 10x your career, bro.
Listen, what's the difference between the Illuminati and the fact that there was a private island that a billionaire owned that flew out the world's most powerful people for parties where they had kids in cages? Like that, like
death.
No, but I'm saying that like that seems like, if I just was like,
it's evil.
That's what Illuminati is basically. It's like all the most powerful people doing, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, well, okay, like if it's knowing that the Epstein situation actually is true and has played out in this fashion, it almost validates this concept of the Illuminati.
Also, I think sometimes we kind of like, as normal people chilling, not in that hierarchy of success, we kind of just distance away. We're like, that can't believe that's happening, and we forget that no, it's real. These people were doing that, bro.
Yes.
No, not like we hear conspiracies all the time. It's like, how many other conspiracies are real, dude?
Yeah.
How many other random ones are weird, dude?
I don't know.
Was Louis Vuitton? Was it Louis Vuitton that did that weird like kids campaign?
That was Balenciaga,
bro. Were they really in that fringe weird?
Maybe, dude. I don't know.
Sacrificial vibe.
I don't know. I think my threshold for jumping to certain conclusions like that is I kind of like, I don't know. I mean, you can make a case that it's plausible, but
what do you think, bro? Give me, if you were to lean in one direction.
What I think is
make a bold claim, Nate.
No, my bold claim is that I think there's a full indulgence of evil at the extreme. If there's extreme good, if there's extreme altruism, if you have somebody like Gandhi, and we know this though, like we've seen this throughout history. You look at somebody like Hitler or Stalin. Hitler was, I mean, you have eugenics and the genocide, like the efficient genocide of as many people as possible. They were good at it. They were
Right.
they actually, in fact, like the Nazis, bro. Like I think a lot of people are hip to this, but like they were very technologically advanced.
They helped us
their
in a lot of
tanks
other
were better.
fields,
So
bro.
it's like the German engineering. They were engineering for the purpose of winning this war to build this Aryan race and stuff. It's kind of crazy, but that's an extreme. Stalin is an extreme. You know what I'm saying? The revolution that took that over resulted in 70 million people dying and starving to death, and business owners being murdered and profit being viewed
There actually was a group of people in Nazi Germany, powerful people in their government, speaking about, before it ever happened, before we ever knew it was going to happen, speaking about slaughtering and eradicating an entire
women
race
and
of
children.
Yeah.
They had to build systems around where the men went, where the women and children went.
people. And it happened. And what gives me a lot of peace in that is understanding that, you know, the good prevailed overall. We were able to stop it, right? And that's why it's like it's crazy to believe, because some people have the belief that, you know, there's the veil over who controls over the world is all evil. Some people just immediately default to that.
Right.
But obviously that's also proven in seeing that people stood up against genocide and things of that nature and tried to stop it.
Yeah.
No one liked, even though it was, I don't even want to get into that conversation about the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
But it's like, that gives me a lot of peace. Knowing that there are good people and there are evil people, but the good exists.
Yeah.
Is so.
You know what I think is a really, and this is a another Jordan Peterson kind of perspective from his line of thinking, but it's like
Father JP.
Everybody has the proclivity, if given the correct circumstances, to be maximally good or maximally evil, and anywhere in between. So there's a book called Ordinary Men that I started reading that is on Jordan's reading list.
Yeah.
And it's basically about how, more or less, middle-aged 45, 50-year-old cops before Nazi Germany happened, through duty and what's the word? Desensitization. Yeah, desensitization. Through that, they basically turned from ordinary men into the people that were capable of doing acts such as that. And it was like a gradual. It was a gradual, like it's like the uncomfortable in the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is also uncomfortable to fix yourself. I was gonna make one more quick point,
Okay.
and then I know you were about to say something. Is that with, I think what makes it so extreme at the rich level or whatever, if you want to talk about wealthy and powerful, is that there's the means. So if you're somebody who has no bread and you're barely getting by, you have just as much good and evil present in those situations.
Right.
You have people who would rob and murder and steal from people and all this, right? And that's but you also have poor people who have really figured something out. And we know a lot of people like that. People that don't have a lot of bread, but they are active in their community. They're pouring good into the world. They're a beacon of light for a lot of people. And then at the wealthy level, you have people who lean fully into the evil, which is, an example of Epstein's Island, but you also have people doing immense good or trying to affect immense good, and they have the means to do that at a grand scale and to affect a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like this kind of constant battle of worldview and how it turns out and what sort of thing we want. And that's that frontier, baby.
Yo, what's up, guys? We have a show called Up for Debate where we get our best friends, artists, comedians, influencers, and they debate about mundane topics like couches versus recliner, which is featuring Mike LV and John Chris. Here's a clip.
There's never been a living room with a recliner and no couch. Never.
A recliner is like a hat for a living room.
It's like Florida Georgia Line with the BB Rex. Like she can.
I don't know what that
collab.
means. That's a lot of yee talk. I don't
Is it?
understand.
That's a little. You're kind of, my culture is not a joke, but all right, make it. Yeah, it's not your costume, but hilarious, dude.
What are you talking about? White culture is a recliner and a TV.
Bro,
that's literally your culture. You're talking about picture culture, bro.
We ain't watching.
With the beer in it.
No.
I'll
Do they
let it
have
go.
them in Puerto Rico?
No, they don't. Wanna know why? Because we're working.
No, my. Yo. And then what?
Let's talk about the new frontier.
What's that?
We'll switch gears for a second. I think
Okay,
the
let's
new
do it.
frontier reached our doorsteps in Miami. You hear about
Oh, bro.
that? You hear about that?
You talking about the aliens?
Bro, the aliens. Tell them a little bit about the story.
Okay, so look, I don't know. A lot of people saw this on Twitter, but apparently there was an alleged sighting of an 8 to 10 foot tall alien at a mall in Miami. All right, and then there was some video footage of people running from there. Now, the official story, I think, is that there were teens that broke out into a big fight. So there was like a huge brawl, and I think there were sticks involved and whatever. Cool. Like, that seems plausible to me too, whatever. And probably, I mean, more plausible than an alien sighting. But what was crazy is there was video footage from outside the mall, and it had the biggest police presence I've ever seen. I showed you the video. It was like I think it might have been over 100, like a literal 100 cop cars, which I had never seen anything like that. And it's like for some teens getting into a fight with some sticks.
Seems a little weird.
That seems crazy. I'm definitely not jumping to the alien thing, but like,
I'm always going in the side of it's
aliens for sure.
Because that video I seen, the video I seen is not convincing enough. But it was just like it looked like something was walking. But I mean, at the end of the day, like he played for Miami.
What are you talking about?
Could have just been Shaq.
It could have been Shaquille O'Neal.
It could have just been Shaq, bro. It's no one's said that. I feel like that's probably what.
I mean, he's between. Well, he's not 8 foot. They said 8 to 10 foot, dude.
We're also hearing this from the perspective of the person who did this report.
That's true.
So it's like
maybe they can't
they're
measure
looking
height.
at him and they're looking at him and they're going, "That's just an alien."
You know what I default to is like, what is going on in the alien's head? You know what I'm saying? Like from the alien perspective, because like I don't know
let's play on that a little bit. Let's play on that.
Look, dude, I got a green. Listen, I'm dressed in green, bro. Here's what I think. But we should play it out.
You're the alien. We just brought you in for an interview. I am the talk show host. Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming back to Miami Vice, episode 23. Today we are featuring. What's your name again? Sorry, sir. Unfortunately, there is an entire police presence. They almost use half of Miami's police department when they have other things to focus on. I totally am on your side. We are seeing an influx of just, I feel like, I mean, you know what? It's your story. I'm not going to take away from it. Tell me what happened that day.
Man, I was just out there trying to get some Chanel bags for my shawty. I'm shopping in the mall like everybody else. Everybody treat me like I'm some kind of freak. The fuck? I ain't really got too much more to add to that, bro. Y'all running from me. I thought we lived in a progressive place. Okay, I'm tall. I'm big. I look a little different from you. Did we learn our lesson already? How many times throughout history has this happened? How many times? No, answer the question. How many times throughout history?
I agree with you. I agree with you, sir. Look, you know what?
Some bullshit.
I have a question for you. Whenever you see police and they are stopping black people, right? Or they're stopping a riot, things where actual danger is being implemented. They're stopping a drug deal. Things where drugs being with fentanyl laced and it's being that's all through Miami right now. Columbia is pulling that shit in like hotcakes. But that's then you're just getting a Chanel bag for your shorty, how you put it, right?
That's what I'm doing.
That's it.
That's how I do. That's the things that I do.
What is it about? Is there something about you? I'm trying to get a better understanding. I don't see species.
Look at me.
I'm 8 to 10 foot tall. I got more sauce than all of y'all combined. And I hear you listen, I hear you talking about the African American community, but let me just say this. You ever seen a black man walk into a mall, minding his own business, buying a Chanel bag, and the entire mall sprints in terror out of the building?
You don't know what it's like to be me!
All right, guys.
I think I'm done, bro.
So dumb. That's what it felt like to be the alien, guys. You heard it here first on Miami Vice News. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye. Can we get that guy off our fucking set? Can we get that guy out of here? Now.
Well, guys, I don't know. Listen, I don't know if acting is our first calling, but we'll get better. We'll get better.
We gotta get better at acting in general. We need to take an improv class, bro.
Yo, in addition to doing this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere that it airs, on our YouTube channel, we have a show called Up for Debate, and we have been doing reaction videos as of late. So this is where David and I are reacting to art from the perspective of a full-time rapper and a full-time video director. We're analyzing both the music and the video. You can check that out on our YouTube channel, Made by Thieves, which is THVS. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out our channel and hit the playlist. You'll find it all right there. So, peace. We were talking about this a little bit. It seems so crazy. Just everything that's going on. Like, think about just like the different frontiers in which things are getting crazy. So on one hand, you have Israel and Palestine conflict. You have Russia and Ukraine conflict. So we got war, and we know that we have nuclear warheads, a number on this earth that could totally destroy the earth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that frontier. Then you have the fact that central banks are inflating currency, and we have, financial issues. Then you have the fact that there's, a political pulling away. Then you have social media's effect on people and how social media can affect pride and vanity and push us in that direction like we were talking about. Then you have AI being developed. You know what I'm saying? And all the questions around that.
Oof.
Like, and there's this, this psychedelic user philosopher named Terence McKenna, but basically he had an idea that basically entropy is the purpose of the universe, and things just continue to complexify until what he calls the transcendental object at the end of time. But
Fire name for an album.
Yeah, which is a fire name for an album. Big facts.
Or movie. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, everything's just getting crazy. I mean, let's just focus on technology, because that's another easy one to wrap your head around. Like, 125 years ago, the year 1900, bro, we were just in the process of like moving from riding horses to places to automobiles and planes in that same like time period. Like late 1890s is when this stuff was like invented. Right. You know what I mean? And then, so you had that, but then now we have air travel. Now we can just fly through the air.
And it's very effective.
And it's very effective.
But it's like almost a 0% failure rate.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then we get to, also actually around this time, you also have recorded music. The gramophone was developed by Thomas Edison.
True.
You also have electricity.
Yeah, bro,
electricity was a little bit before that.
The main of our existence.
Yeah, electricity was before that, but like, okay, so this all happened 120 years ago.
Yeah.
But through that, we went from that stage. Prior to that stage was none of that. The 50s, we get refrigeration. So before that, you had to just go to a market and like buy food that day.
Is your daily reading a history book, bro? How do you know this?
I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm just not realizing Nate's smart.
Damn, like it took 30 episodes for me to like impress David. Like
which actually, as a consequence, makes me look stupid. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
But look, no, you're good. You're good. I'm just thinking like, okay, and then that was revolutionary, and then there's all sorts of inventions and different things that happened throughout. But fast forward to the year 2000, this is when personal computers are starting to become a thing. The internet. I mean, you had computers, but the internet is in its earliest stages. And I remember watching a Jeff Bezos interview from 1994.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
Talking about Amazon. This is when Amazon was just a bookstore, and the interviewer was almost like a little bit scoffing at him because
he looked a little nerdy and stuff. They were kind of looking down on him.
But what they were looking down on him for was the fact that he thought that like the conventional wisdom at that time was the internet was a fad.
Right.
And Jeff Bezos, he's like, it's not a fad. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, this technology is going to change the world, and like we're on the front end of that.
And look at him now.
I mean, but dude, that's the level of. I mean, but what is crazy is to watch that in retrospect and just think about the fact that interviewer and other people like him were like okay, like you. Okay, so because he saw the potential of the internet. So anyway,
you see that with Bitcoin, you see that with AI,
right? Bitcoin, the year 2009. Okay, that's when that started. 2008, 2009 was when the white paper was released. But look, bro, you have that. Then we went into smartphones. We had cell phones a little bit, but now you got smartphones. So now you have a device in your pocket that can access this internet. Then you have applications built on top of that. Boom, that happened. That's like 2010s, like really where that started really happening, like early 2009, 2010, that sort of thing. And then you have VR and AI. I mean, and AI really had its biggest year in 2023. So it took us all of human history pre the 1900s. We were riding horses, and in 1 year we have gone from. Here's the rundown of AI from my experience in 2023. The first thing that popped up was I could load a bunch of photos into an app called Lensa. I could load a bunch of photos. It would kind of understand what my face looks like, and it would build me like all these different art styles of myself. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. Right. Then, like a month after that, you had DALL-E, which was text to image prompting, and it looked like really low res, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like you could text something, it would just make it. But it didn't look realistic or whatever.
Right.
Then you had ChatGPT 3, which was like really revolutionary. People start finding out the power of that. Mm-hmm. Then it goes into ChatGPT 3.5, and now text to image is, I mean, Mid-Journey, like the best Mid-Journey photos I've seen are indistinguishable from real images. Indistinguishable.
Yeah.
You know, all the Josh Tepp stuff.
Looks insane.
It just looks like the best cinematography like we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And all that has just happened in 1 year, dude. What is gonna happen? What is gonna happen in the next 20 years, 30 years, 5 years?
Yeah, it's about to be crazy, bro. Who knows? Yeah, is artificial. I mean, it does seem like the right direction to lean into artificial intelligence being implemented in some sort of physical robot or something like that we can interact with. We've talked about it on video games.
Tesla's doing that.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. There are a couple companies that are actually developing humanoid robots. Because, I mean, we have robots. Like, it's not that crazy of a technology, but then you embed a little bit of AI so it has some functionality and can, like, analyze things. Yeah. But, I mean...
We're going to see that. I think I'm excited to see how we see this in video games, and I don't want to get too far into it, but we've talked about it with, you know, you work with RPGs and you have different characters, and usually you go to them, and then it has a tree of prompts. You click one question that's going to lead to another branch, and then another question, another branch, and then but there's always an end of that branch once you hit all the prompts.
Right.
Right. It's just always a set amount of prompts, and there are some games that are implementing AI speech learning systems into their characters that you interact with. Your what do you call them, Greg? NPCs, right? Your NPCs that you interact with on the games.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's like the most rudimentary version of that, is that you're playing a video game. And you go and talk to someone, and you can have a true conversation through the mic of your video game.
Man, dude, okay.
Imagine that, but in a physical. Imagine that for someone who. Imagine a robot for someone who is having dementia. That it's just catered to that person's histories, that person's family.
Yeah,
it's there to take care of that person when the family can't. Imagine
that.
But
bro, what if we just straight up fix dementia? Like there's been,
bro. They had,
but there were also like there's also biological progress being happening, and there was a new medicine that came out. I think was it approved for human trials? Is that what it was? But it was like it slowed the rate of Alzheimer's by like 70%. The rate of deterioration, which I mean that's significant. That's significant. But no, real quick though, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the video game thing because I think the way that this fully culminates is,
I know you're going with this.
Okay, so let's say you have NPC characters in a game that you already have games. Real quick to back up, you already have games that like have ever evolving worlds. You had GTA Online. You know what I'm saying? So you have something that's constantly being updated. Fortnite's been doing that. You have experiences. You have all these things. Okay, cool. Now you implement all your NPCs are AI. Different AIs built around specific personalities,
parameters,
character traits.
Right.
Now imagine like
enneagrams. They're built off different enneagrams.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now imagine also that you have historical figures like Aristotle. Let's say you had a Assassin's Creed game in Greece, which I know they have one, but I'm saying where you can in the game you talk to Aristotle as an NPC, and he's built off all of Aristotle's writings and things that historically we know about him.
Right.
So his character model is built off of that. So you can basically you can almost bring people back to life. And then you take the layer of virtual reality. And then you have virtual reality. So now you're physically more or less from a perceptive
Well, that's also going to be improving. It's going to get to a point where it just feels real.
It just feels real. You have photorealistic mappings of faces and this and that whenever the the computer chip can get there. Maybe quantum computing gets us there. But bro, at that point, you just have created a new reality. I mean, you're able to speak to like. I mean, eventually AI is going to get to a point where it's just like the Turing test is easy. Like it's indistinguishable. It's like you could develop a friendship with an NPC, bro. That's kind of wild.
Described, bro, is pretty much Magic School Bus. You can actually just imagine this, right?
Okay.
Imagine this. You just want
Miss Frizzle.
You want to learn.
A lizard.
Miss Frizzle was a baddie.
She was, dude. She was kind of thick.
Kind of ridiculous.
Miss Frizzle was Miss Frizzle was thick though, wasn't she?
She was thick, bro. She was thick, for real. Slim thickums. How about a Magic School Bus?
That's right.
Anyways, you imagine like you are in class, you're in history class, and then you have to just learn more about, like you said, Abraham Lincoln, for example. And you have a VR system. It is quite like all the Magic School Bus did was take you back in time, or it was through the body, right? Through the body,
right.
things like that. So it'd be so cool if we can get to the point where we can, go to the White House in the Oval. This is the most basic version, but we go to the Oval Office and we chat with Abraham Lincoln and we ask him questions. That's how we study in a certain part of studying.
I think that would be so
fun.
dope. It would be so dope. Now that could be distorted really, really badly depending on accounts and how they're
That's the hard
programmed.
part.
That is a tough part. But bro, I was gonna say the last thing I want to leave this off on, and this is something maybe we can talk about off camera, but they have and Jordan Peterson was talking about this with somebody, but they have developed a machine learning AI based on the King James Bible. So it's where you can so it's off of the writings and all of the contextual interpretive philosophy in there. It's a situation where you can ask it questions and it will respond based on the wisdom contained within that. So you've created essentially a being that has the cumulative computed reasoning of the Bible. Now that might be where it gets to be like you might get into Antichrist. Yeah, but it could also be an extremely powerful tool if that is the model by which it's based.
Who knows,
you know what I'm
man?
saying?
That's where you really get into. I guess we're strapped in along for the ride, right?
100%, bro. Well, hey, great episode. Yeah. Excited to be your friend.
For sure, bro.
We thick as thieves.
I'm finna go look up Miss Frizzle in a second.
I mean, I know, me too, bro.
I might watch a couple episodes.
For sure.
What I mean,
peace.
Yeah, baby, need top 5 when I'm done going mental. Yeah, I'm locked in, you can peep my condition, man, a lab all winter, all summer. Yeah, I went dumb.